Not too long ago, NAC Southern Africa introduced a sexual misconduct policy, and we are going to be speaking about that this afternoon. I've got Apostle Robert Worship with me and also have our topic expert, Hetty Sheppel. She is a psychologist and a lecturer and program manager at a national tertiary institution. She's also the chair of the sexual misconduct panel that reports directly to the district apostle. Why have we decided to introduce the sexual misconduct policy?
Tracy, we introduced it after we identified that there was a gap in our pastoral support offering. Matters of sexual misconduct they don't fall into the normal realm of pastoral care. It's not the kind of thing where you go and visit, you have a prayer and everything's over and all done. Victims and perpetrators need interventions that definitely go outside of the normal way in which we support. So we identified that and we said, let's develop a framework that will guide the church in how to do that. And also, because of these are expert fields or fields of requiring expertise, we decided then a policy would guide us and then also be able to draw on the help from experts.
And we know there are policies everywhere. Corporates have policies, governments have policies. But how serious is the church about this policy and implementing it?
Well, we've been working on developing this policy for a few years. That is how seriously we actually started working on the policy. And we endeavor to do it the right way from the start. We have formal procedures, informal procedures for reporting, and we also start off with a confidentiality in place.
We know there's one thing that's faster than the grapevine, and that's the NAC vine. How important is the obligation to confidentiality?
So every minister is obligated to, by virtue of his ordination or his appointment, that he has to stick to a strict code of confidentiality. What we've done with the policy was we've layered it at different levels to ensure confidentiality. So a victim could contact the office, could contact the panel, could lay a charge, and that victim's rector may never know about it. The district rector may never know about it, the bishop or the apostle, because the first entry into the process is an independent process, verified by independent people, looked at it and investigated.
Now, our ministers, are they educated properly to deal with these cases?
At the moment, Tracy, no, not yet. So what we're doing now, we've just appointed the Apostle Area Safekeeping Facilitators. That's the title they will go by. And they are just enjoying their first part of a South African qualifications framework accredited course that they are doing. And they will train trainers in return.
Let's touch on the very practical steps. How does one go about reporting a matter of sexual misconduct?
It's actually very simple. There's an email address and only the panel members have access to that inbox. And I mean, the panel members are all experts. They're all registered professionals, so trained and experienced in dealing with these matters, and then we address whatever complaint or whatever report comes in.
Now, we know when a victim comes forward, they lay a complaint. That's still a while away before they actually lay a charge, right? And there's a lot of support needed for that victim. What support do you have for them?
We do have a panel of experts who are registered with their respective statutory bodies. And we also have a referral system where we do refer to community support, Childline, Lifeline. We do have a system in place for support, not only for the victim and the families, because the perpetrator also has a family. So we also want to support the perpetrator.
How often will we be updating this policy?
Well, this policy will be reviewed officially every 2 years. There is a formal panel to review the policy, which is independent of the actual sexual misconduct panel, which are also comprised of experts that will review and monitor and evaluate the efficacy of the policy.
We are seeing movies are being made about sexual misconduct and sexual harassment. There are series being done about it. Why has the church decided to do this now? Don't you feel that perhaps we are jumping on a bit of a bandwagon in this time?
We started with the development of this policy back in 2017 already. And along the way, we often reminded each other to say how topical it is what we were doing. You will remember the Me Too movement the cases of high-profile, mostly film producers, and as those cases unfolded and became court cases, we started seeing that we're still on the right track. And the church, we took a purposeful stand that we do not want to go out there and ride the media wave, because that would just fly in the face of what it is that we did. We brought this to the table when we were completed with it.
How sure can we be that the church is going to deal with this in the right and professional manner to ensure that we resolve and address these issues?
What we've done in terms of the reporting of matters, it actually has very strict deadlines in terms of when the church must respond. So if somebody lays a complaint, it comes to the sexual misconduct panel. Within 7 days, that report must be issued to the district apostle's office. Within 7 days, the district apostle must then appoint an investigator, and within 14 days, the investigator must report back to the district apostle. So within a month, we are able to deal with it professionally. And everything in that process happens outside of the pastoral realm. Somebody needs psychosocial help. There may be a criminal element as well. We may need to involve legal experts. And we have purposefully said, let's first sanitize the process from anything else other than giving the person the kind of support that they need.
Closing thoughts from both of you. I'll start with you, Hetty.
Well, within our church community, the time has passed where we can say that it's somebody else's problem. Each and every one of us have to be an agent to prevent, firstly, and to protect the vulnerable individuals in our church community, especially the children. This is a collective effort.
We want to prevent, because ultimately it's the prevention of these matters which strengthens our society. It's not just a church problem, it's a society problem as well. And so that's what we're saying, we're committing to zero tolerance, and we want to educate and bring about the awareness to all in the church community.